So today we're gonna make surf, and I think surf's gonna be pretty easy actually. I've got a pretty simple plan for it so far, but we need to start by loading a sample map, preferably a town that has like a decent amount of water. Actually, this will work. Fishing village. We need to create a common event. So surfing, not surfing. Oh, we need to change our starting position to start here, and then we're gonna place this common or this event here. Actually, no, I think the event needs to be probably here. Just name this surf tile. Now, the first thing surfing is going to do is it's going to change. So I was looking at that to see if you could force somebody to get on or off a vehicle. Let's do some testing on that real quick. See, it says just get on or off a vehicle. What? Well, let's see what that does. If there's no vehicle around, I wonder if you get on it. Yeah, see, nothing happens. There's no vehicle here. Okay, that's what I thought. I was wondering if maybe we needed to use vehicles to get this done, but I don't think so. I don't want to do that anyways, even though we'll be using a vehicle graphic, but we're not going to be actually engaging with the vehicle system. So first thing we want to do is control switches, and we're going to turn a switch called currently swimming on. Or actually, let's change it to currently surfing. All right, so we're going to turn that on. We are going to change the player's graphic. Change the player's graphic to the boat. Now, if this common event is going to be right here, it needs to move you in the direction that you'd like need to go in to get to the water. Yeah, let's go ahead and make the bones of this event here real quick. So we'll just call it surf tile. Below character on the action button, and we are going to have it called the common event surfing. What surfing is going to do, actually, we need to create a skill for surf. We're just going to call it surf. We'll just make this blue orb the icon, and we don't want you to be able to use it. I mean, we could make a system to where, like, you know, you use it from the menu, but for right now, we're not going to worry about that. No enemies or allies. You're just going to have the skill surf. Let's create an NPC here that teaches you surf. Would you like to learn surf? If yes, we want to change skill to the main character here and have them learn surf. If not, then we'll just say, okay, then. Also, Albert is the only character that we have in the starting party, so we actually need to change this to teach Albert surf. And then we're going to step on this tile. If we use the action button, it's going to trigger the surfing common event. And then we want to, at the very top, we want a conditional branch. Check if Albert has surf, create an else branch, show text, would you like to surf? If not, we'll create a text that says you don't have surf. We actually need to move turning the switch on and changing the player image to up here. And then I think what we need to do is create a conditional branch for if the player, like which direction the player is facing, so that they move towards the direction that they're facing. So let's create a conditional branch. If character player is facing down, then we want a movement route, move down. And we're basically just going to copy paste this and change it for each of the 4 directions. Player's facing left, then we want to delete this and move left. All right, we want it to move right. If he's facing right, the only one we have left is up, and we want them to move up. Now we'll have to keep the direction that they're facing in mind for this event, because we're going to have to make a conditional branch that activates the surf event only if they're looking down. So let's go ahead and do this real quick. Conditional branch, if the character player is facing down, then you want to activate surf, because they would have to be looking down to activate this tile. Okay, so what happens when you have surf? It'll ask you, would you like to surf? It checks which direction that you're facing so that it knows which direction to move you, and then it will change the player image. Maybe there is a streamlined way to use region tiles. This would be useful for getting off the water back onto the land, because you could have a parallel process running while you're surfing that's checking to see if you touch a land region tile and then change your graphic back. I think what I want to do is make it this way, and then we'll look into using region ID tags, and we'll check it out and see if there's a easy way to do it through region tiles as well. Change this. Okay, so we've got it to where, depending on where they're facing, they're going to move that direction, and then it turns them into a vehicle. And then what we want it to do is we actually want it to turn self switch A on. The reason we want to turn self switch A on is because we're going to have a second page for this surf tile that if self switch A is on, this becomes an event that is same as characters. Well, we don't really need self switch A actually, because we have the surfing switch currently surfing. We're going to set this second page to same as character. And then for this one, we're going to have the common event run not surfing. And the reason that we want it same as character is we don't want you to be able to run past this, right? So if you're in the water and this is set to below character, you're going to be able to run right on top of it before you try to, and have to interact with it before you execute. And actually we need to set the second page to player touch. And then we're going to copy this entire thing. Actually, we need to remove self switch A because we don't need that. We're going to copy this entire thing. We're going to paste it in not surfing, except we're going to change currently surfing to off, and we're going to change the player image back to the player's actual image. Oh man, I don't even remember what Albert looks like. I think Albert is this character. I'm sure I'm missing a step here, but I just want to test this out to see what it looks like so far. You don't have surf. Okay, perfect. Would you like to learn surf? Yes. And now we should have surf. Okay, there it is. I think it was this tile, right? Would you like to surf? Why did that happen? Oh, I didn't even add a show choices. We need to take all of this and put it back up into show choices. And when no, do nothing. Okay, let's try this again. Would you like to surf? Yes. It's now frozen. And we are going to have to figure out why. So if yes, it turns currently surfing on. If the player is facing down, set movement around. That's why, because this is set to a tile that the player cannot walk on. What tile set is this using? Outside. We can't exactly set this tile to passable either, because then you're going to be able to just run right onto the water. Interesting. Let's just set it to passable for now and take a look at it. Oh, it's using this water tile. See, now it works. That doesn't work though. Common event, not surfing. Why is not surfing not working? Oh, because we haven't changed the player's image twice. And there we go. There's that. And there's that. As far as I know, there is no, oops, I dragged that event down. There is no way to change the passability of a tile on the fly. See, if we leave this passability, let me show you an issue here if we leave this as passable. So it'll say you don't have surf, and then we just walk right on top of it. Now that I'm looking at it, region IDs might be the way. Think about this for a second. So there's one semi-easy way that we could do this, and that is in this event, when it finds out we can surf, we could actually have it fade out the screen, spawn the vehicle here, have the player get on the vehicle, and then fade the screen back in. Let's try that without fading the screen and see what happens. We don't want it to do that. When we move down, we want it to get location info of the boat. That's right. We have to set a variable first. My mind was completely blanking right there. Set player X to the player's X, set player Y to the player's Y. Okay, and then we want to get the location info of the player. Oh, actually, we don't even need to do that. Jesus, man, where's my mind at today? We're going to set vehicle location to player X, player Y, and then I guess we need to get the map ID as well. Map ID. Then we'll set it to the map ID. We'll designate the boat there, and then we want the player to get on the vehicle. Vehicle. Let's delete this. If player's facing down, move down. I don't even know that we need this for not surfing, right? So if we have the player get to this point and it puts you on the boat automatically, you get off the boat automatically, right? The only issue is I think that the boat would remain where the player is. And we're just going to delete this second page. Yeah, see, the boat remains. What if we took these variables and changed them based on which direction the player was moving to have the boat spawn in front of you and then you get on the boat? Also, we need to change this tile set back. Make these tiles not passable. If the player is facing down, we're going to take this. We're going to copy this in each scenario so that it changes the boat location based on where the player is. If the player is facing down, then we need the boat to add one, or we need player Y to add one so that the boat will spawn one tile down. And then for up, it needs to be Y -1. And then if the player is facing left, we need it to add or subtract 1 from X. And if they're facing right, to add 1 to X. So going over this again, when you have surf and you say you want to surf, it's going to get the map ID, the X and the Y. It's going to spawn the boat in front of you and you are going to get on the boat. And then we actually do need to turn currently surfing on. And you will see why in a moment. And then for not surfing, we just need to set the vehicle's location to a map that is like that you're like never going to use. This is currently surfing is on. When the player steps on it, set it below character, and then when player steps on it, it'll activate the not surfing event, which will move the boat. All right, let's give this a try. I don't think this is going to work correctly, but we're going to give it a shot anyways. You don't have surf. Would you like to learn surf? Yes, please. Would you like to surf? Yes. Okay. There's that. So now when we try to get off, we get off the boat. Actually, that worked out pretty well. That worked out pretty well. And then that allows us to leave the water tiles as impassable. So that was pretty easy. Oh, the player has to be facing down. I want to test something real quick. Have surf. Would you like to learn surf? Yes. See, I actually want this to happen when you try to leave the water. Didn't really want to do this with 2 tiles, but it might be a 2-tile thing. This might be the time to go ahead and use region IDs. So let's change not surfing. Let's delete this. We'll just call this check if on land. And this is going to be a parallel process that runs when currently surfing is on. What it's going to do is it's going to set the player's X to the player's X, set the player's Y to the player's Y. And then I guess we'll go ahead and set the map ID as well. And then it's going to get location info for the player's X and Y. And it's going to store that in a variable, which we already have one called region ID. It's going to store that in region ID. We want to make sure the info type is region ID. And then we want to go to the region editor. And let's just do region 2, and we'll change all of the land tiles that they could possibly, which they can't land on these, but we're just going to change it to 2 anyways. All of the land tiles that can possibly land on, we're going to change those regions to 2. I was going to use this for the water, but I don't think I will. Then we'll set a conditional branch. If variable region ID equals 2, then we want the player to get off the vehicle, and then we want to set the vehicle location to somewhere on another map that they'll never see. I foresee some problems with this, but we're going to give it a test drive anyways. We also want it to turn currently surfing off. And actually, we don't need the player to get on or off the vehicle because that's already programmed into the tile set. And then this surf tile, we can actually delete the second page. Again, this surf tile can be same as characters, and it can actually be moved down here. Actually, let's delete these real quick. We only need to do 1 tile for right now to test it. Now it doesn't even have to be if the player is facing down. We can just have the common event surfing up. You don't have surf? Okay, perfect. Like to learn surf? Okay. Would you like to surf? Yes. Now we're on the boat. And then if we go on land. Oh, well, we got to fix that event because it is now same as characters, so they can't get through it. But now if we get off the boat. Oh, it didn't work. Why didn't it work? Currently surfing on. Currently surfing, parallel process, get the player's map ID. Now we need to make a new page here for self switch A, and this can be below character when self switch A is on. Oh, okay, that's what we'll do. We'll make a new event page. We're currently surfing. That'll be below character. And then when currently surfing gets turned off, it'll go to this. Now I'm curious why it did not take us off the boat. If region ID equals 2, set vehicle location, and it's supposed to move the boat. Oh, that's why. We need it to be here. If region ID equals 2, then it'll turn currently surfing off. Otherwise, it will not turn currently surfing off. Now let's try it. We didn't fix this. This needs to be same as characters. Okay, no, let's make sure this still works correctly. You don't have surf. Okay. Would you like to learn surf? Yes. Would you like to surf? Yes. Okay, we're on the boat. Beautiful. We're moving around. We're on the boat. We're doing stuff. Go to region ID 2, and the boat is gone. Would you like to surf? Yes, I would love to surf. And you get off and the boat is gone. Yay, we did it. So we did end up using region IDs for the second half of that. You could use region IDs for this first portion, but in my mind, I think it would be better to just have events around the water for the first portion. Let's copy. Oh, well, we cut it. That works too. So let's go ahead and paste this around to make sure that this works from every angle. There's our water event. Actually, we did not paste one here. You don't have surf. You don't have surf. You don't have surf. Perfect. Let's talk to this guy. Let's get surf. Let's go here. Would you like to surf? Yes. Oh, as of right now, it only works if we're facing down because we have a region ID, or we only have, that's interesting. When we were facing to the right, if players facing to the right, oh, we don't have a get on or off vehicle here. Weird. How did that happen? All right, there we go. Now let's give it a shot. Let's grab surf here. All right, we got surf. Would you like to surf? Yes. Oh my gosh, it's a work of art, really. It works flawlessly. There we go. Oh, I guess we need to put it around the bridge too, huh? Let's go ahead and get rid of this. Then now we'll just paste our surf tile here. I'm going to explain this here in just a second, because I know I got a bit confusing there, but it's because I wanted to do only events and not have to worry about the region ID. But I don't think that that is as easy as just using the region ID of 2 to move the boat. So somebody in chat suggested that we use region IDs for surf. And I think in order to have these be region IDs and you automatically surf when you touch them, we would have to have like a parallel process up at all times. And I don't necessarily want to do that. I'm very hesitant about parallel processes anyways, because as I'm learning in my other game, my roguelike game, when there's too many parallel processes going on, things will start lagging. So I try to limit what we do here to as few parallel processes as possible. You don't have surf. Okay. Would you like to learn surf? Yes. All right. Now that we have surf, let's go over here. Would you like to surf? Yes. Perfect. Perfect. Can I not get back on the boat? Oh, I don't have it set to region ID too. Actually, wait. Wow, why couldn't I get back on the dock? I bet these two tiles are not passable from a certain direction. Yeah. Thought so. Let's just change that real quick. Oh, we need surf. Would you like to surf? Yes. Get off the boat, except the boat did not disappear. Why did the boat not disappear? Oh, it's not region ID 2. Jesus. I just said that a second ago too. I'm losing my mind today. You know, the way that this works now, we only have one parallel process running, and that's only while we're surfing. So I don't feel super bad about having a ton of events. Would you like to surf? Yes. Let's get off the boat. Okay. Would you like to surf? Yes. All right. This works great. This works great. I'm going to go over it real quick so that we know what's going on. So we have a skill called surf. Okay. And it's just like a key skill. So you can't really do anything with it. You could make it do something in battle if you wanted to. I didn't really want to here. So we just have a basic skill called surf that you can't use. That can only be used on the map. We have tiles wherever the player can access water. And what these tiles do is they have 2 pages. The first page, you want to set the priority same as characters so they can't, so they can interact with it in front of them. And it triggers on the action button, and it'll trigger the common event surfing. What the common event surfing does is asks you if you have surf, it will ask you what you like to surf. If you don't have surf, it tells you you don't have it. But if you do have it, it'll ask you, do you want to? If yes, it's going to turn the switch currently surfing on. It's going to get the map ID, player X, and the player Y. The reason that it gets these is because it's going to spawn the boat directly in front of where you're facing. So we have, if the player's facing down, it adds 1 to your Y because you want the boat spawned below you. It spawns the boat and then it makes you get on the boat. The same thing for all the other directions. We actually have turn surfing on twice, which we don't need, so let's get rid of that. When surfing is on, currently surfing is on, you're going to have this common event running called check if on land. And what this does is it gets the region ID for the tile that you are currently on constantly. Anytime that you go to a tile that has a region ID that you'll set, I've set it to 2 for land here. When you land on it from your boat, it's going to take your boat and it's going to transfer it to somewhere you know that the player will not see the boat. So this is just on like a random puzzle map that I made. You'll just transfer it somewhere where the player will not see it. And then it's going to turn currently surfing off, which means this parallel process will not run anymore. Also, when you turn currently surfing off, it will turn this page's second tile off, or second page off. The reason we have the second page is because it's set to below character so that the character can actively surf on it. If the character tries to surf on it and it's set to priority same as characters, they'll bump into it. They won't be able to surf on it. That was surf. Surf is done. The next up is fly, and I have a plan for that as well. So we'll probably be doing that sometime this week.